What's up, everyone? A huge shout out to all of Mr. Cheese students and followers. You're in for a treat today because we're doing a special masterclass. We're going to grab one of your life sciences questions, and by the end of this, you'll be a total pro, a genetic detective ready to snag every single mark. All right, let's set the scene. This comes straight from your exam paper, but honestly, it sounds like something from a crime show, right? You've got a mother desperately looking for her missing son. Then the authorities find some remains, but all they've got to go on is a tiny piece of bone. So yeah, this isn't just another question on a page. It's a real high-stakes mystery. So, everything, and I mean everything, comes down to this one question. Can we actually use DNA to figure this out? Can we give this mother the answers she so desperately needs? Okay, you ready? Let's dive in and crack this code together. Okay, Section 1. Decoding the genetic evidence. To crack this case, we have to start with the most important clue we have, the DNA profile itself. The whole story is right there. You just have to know how to read it. All right, check this out. This is the DNA profile. The easiest way to think about this is like a super unique barcode or a genetic fingerprint for a person. And here's the number one rule you absolutely have to remember. Every kid gets half of their DNA bands from their mom and the other half from their dad. Simple, right? So that means the missing son's profile has to have bands that match his mother's. Let's take a look and see if they do. So here's the big question. Do these remains actually belong to her son? Okay, put on your detective hat for a second. Your first job is to look at the bands from the bone fragment, that's column B, and compare them to the mother's bands. See any that line up perfectly? Okay, now do the exact same thing for the other son, son A. Does B share any bands with him? Seriously, this comparison step is where the magic happens. And the answer is, drum roll please. Yes, a big, confident yes. Now just writing yes gets you 1 mark. Easy peasy. But for all you high flyers out there, the real game is in the explanation. That's where you get the big marks that set you apart. Okay, so let's jump into Section 2, how to actually write your answer. We're going to build on that simple yes and craft a perfect scientific explanation. Because look, it's one thing to be right, but it's another to prove why you're right with the kind of precision that makes examiners happy. Listen up, because this sentence right here, this is the golden ticket. It's literally pulled from the official marking memo. But why is the phrase correspond with so important? Why not just say match? Well, correspond with is a power move. It tells the examiner you know what you're talking about. You're not just saying, oh, these lines look the same. You're saying these bands represent the exact same genetic markers in the exact same spot. See the difference? That's not just pattern matching. It's proper scientific analysis. And that, my friends, is the difference between a good answer and an A+ answer. And here's exactly how you bag both of those marks. The memo uses something called split ticks. Think of it this way. You get 1 point, 1 tick, for saying the bone fragment's DNA corresponds with the mother's. Then you get a second point, a second tick, for saying it also corresponds with the other son's DNA. You got to mention both to get full credit. It's that simple. So you might be thinking, why is this so important? Well, it's because this stuff isn't just for passing exams. Being able to read a DNA profile is a massive deal in the real world. It's a powerful tool that people use every single day to solve huge problems. I mean, think about it. We use DNA profiling to catch criminals, right? Classic stuff. To prove paternity, finding out who the father is. To spot genetic disorders way ahead of time. And even to see if an organ donor is a good match for someone who needs a transplant. And hey, quick exam tip for you. A lot of the time, the memo will say mark the first 2 only. So don't just list everything you can think of. Be smart, be precise, and give them your 2 best, strongest answers first. All right, let's wrap this up with Section 4, your exam-winning takeaways. We're going to boil everything down into a super simple checklist. This is basically your secret weapon, your game plan for any time you see one of these questions on an exam. You'll be able to hit it with confidence. So number 1, approach it like a detective solving a case. It makes it way more interesting. Number 2, always, always, always compare the unknown sample to all the known relatives they give you. In our case, that was both the mom and the other son. Number 3, use the magic words. Bands correspond with. Lock that phrase in your brain. And finally, number 4, don't forget all those real-world uses we just talked about. They often pop up as follow-up questions. So what's the big takeaway here? It's that you now have the tools to do way more than just ace an exam question. You can actually start to think like a geneticist.
You get that it's not just about finding the right answer. It's about reading the incredible story that's written inside our DNA. Pretty cool, huh? So if this masterclass helped you crack the code, do us a huge favor. Share it, give it a like, and hit that subscribe button. And for more awesome explainers just like this one, you've got to follow Mr. Chi. He's on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. Go find him right now.